Greetings, folks. This is DC Investing. I've reached financial independence, and I talk about topics that I hope will be of use to other people trying to reach financial independence as well. And today I want to talk a little bit about margin interest, how it works, why you might want to use it. And I have just been experimenting with it over this past year. I previously was a person who never used debt for much of anything. I was paid off everything that I owned, but I learned about margin investing and decided to do an experiment this last year. And maybe I'm hooked. I think I'll continue to do this for a large number of years because I really like the mathematics for how everything works out on it. It really seems like an intriguing way of building wealth. And so the first thing to do to invest in margin, you need to have a brokerage account. Um, so something like Fidelity, Schwab, Vanguard, Robinhood, Webull, Interactive Brokers. There's a whole bunch of different ones. And I find that Robinhood is really good at publishing their margin rates, and they have low margin rates. I think Webull also matches them, but Webull's a Chinese company. It's got an American location, but I don't know. I don't trust Robinhood really either, but anyhow, it's a good American company. So try something like Robinhood if you just want to dink around with this. And then I think you have to have at least $2,500 in the account in order for margin to be enabled. And you have to go and look for it, figure out how to enable it. There's videos that you can look up on how to do this, or just search online how to enable uh, margin at Robinhood. And then what you need to do is purchase a stock of some kind. And the reason why is because it amplifies your borrowing ability. Normally, you get about half of what the dollar value in your account is that you can invest in margin. But as soon as you buy a stock, they typically say that you have to keep 25% as a reserve in the stock. So it basically gives you more buying power as soon as you buy something. So something that I have found that was interesting, the things that I bought were oil pipeline stocks. I bought the stocks, the master limited partnerships directly, but you can get something like an ETF um, that I was using a dividend arbitrage thing. So like a ETF MLPA or AMLP have a higher dividend yield. They're kind of in the 7.5 range. And then your margin interest rate that you're going to pay is just 5%. So it's kind of like a way of kind of giving yourself a guaranteed 3% arbitrage just by buying these things. And I like oil pipelines in general because I think they're necessary energy infrastructure in our company. But if you weren't interested in that, you can do something like S&P 500 fund, which is something like VOO, or you can be more aggressive and buy the NASDAQ 100. QQQ is popular, and as long as the market goes up higher than your margin interest rate, then you win basically on this. And so your margin rate is a interest only loan. So like if you borrow money against your car, they give you a set series of payments that you have to make every month, and you pay off some of the interest, but you pay off some of the principal every month for your car. Now, a margin loan does not work that way. They only charge you your accrued interest. They don't need you to pay off any of the principal. So that's kind of a difference that kind of messes people up, is they're just used to paying off like a car loan or something. The other thing that's interesting is you don't actually have to pay your interest every month. That's kind of goofy to a lot of people, but basically when you have a margin account, um, it's like a open tab that you have. You can add more borrowing to it. So it might be similar to like a HELOC on your home, where if you have, say, $50,000 of equity in your home, you can borrow that equity at any time. You don't have to pull that loan if you don't want to. So you could take $10,000 out, you could take $20,000 out. And if you didn't um, I know you have to make payments on those loans, but let's say you didn't, um, you could slowly let the interest build up over time until you'd reached your full $50,000 HELOC rate. And so that's kind of what a margin account is. They'll give you a line of credit based upon how much your account is worth. And so for me right now, I have about $50,000 worth of value at Robinhood um, in my margin account. I only need to keep $32,000 in there uh, to keep from getting margin called, but I borrowed $100,000 against those shares, and I just bought more stock. And so as you buy more, the value of your assets goes up, and they'll let you borrow more against those. So let's say so basically every month I get about a margin cost of about $320 something dollars, might be 350, I don't know, but I don't have to pay it. It just adds to my margin balance. So 1 month, uh, instead of having $100,000, it goes up to like 300, 100,000, 100, and $300. Basically, it's hard to say. And if I don't pay down that margin balance, it'll just go up another $300 the next month. So it'll be $100,600 the next month, and then the next month after that, 100,000 $900, and it'll just continue to go on in perpetuity until I reach my margin limit. And at that point, they'll say you can't borrow anymore, and you got to pay this down, or or I don't know, you get a nasty gram or something. But what's interesting is the assets that I have are appreciating along with my margin balance. So they actually go up more than my margin loan rate. And my rate is 4.5% because I have borrowed $100,000. Robinhood starts you off at 5%. But as long as the stocks that I hold go up more each year than 4.5%, I will never get that margin call. I will never run out of margin. So if my stocks appreciate, um, then I can keep this game going on in perpetuity. And so that's kind of how, if you are investing in something like VOO or QQQ, the market on average has been going up like 10% a year for decades. Recently, it's been going up even more than that, and particularly QQQ has done really well over the past decade. And so if your margin account only cost you 5%, but you made 10% in stock appreciation, you're a winner. And so as long as your stocks have appreciated by 10%, your margin will have increased by 5% in that year, but you won't have to pay any of your margin off if you don't want to, which is interesting. So it just adds to your margin balance. So every month I get a $300 increase um, into my margin account. I don't have to pay it off, but I usually choose to pay it off because um, I have a lot of money sitting in money market accounts earning 3.5 or 3.3%. And if I pay down my margin balance, then I'm making 4.5%. So there's a little bit of a difference. So every time I get that margin increase or the margin payment, I have just lately been paying it off because I've got nothing better than I'm doing with that money right now. So I choose to do that. But if I didn't, it would just kind of continue to go up and nothing would ever happen. And as long as the stocks were appreciating faster than my margin, I'd never have to pay off this balance. The end result, like, you can't forever do this, but you can do it until you die. And so there's a buy, borrow, die strategy where if the value of your assets is always growing faster than your margin rate, you you could, in theory, just continue to do this forever. You just keep your assets, you just keep the margin um, interest growing over time. But if the margin interest grows at, say, 5%, but your stocks grow at 10%, you come out 5% ahead. And so upon your death, your stock account assets get transferred to your kids. It's a Todd account or transfer on death account. So as soon as you die, it passes to your kids. But at that time, they have to settle your debts. So they have to pay off your margin balance at that point with the assets. But the nice thing about that is then you don't have to pay capital gains taxes on all of that appreciation that you've got over the years. So so that's why the die is part of the buy borrow die strategy, is because upon death you give your kids your assets. You've used them all your life. It's time to give them to them, but they get a step up in basis. So it's as if they inherit those assets on the price of the day they inherit them, and you may have increased 500% or 1,000% in those assets, or 20,000% or whatever. Um, as long as you have that gain, you can give it to your kids and pay nothing in taxes on it. So that's a powerful part of the strategy. um, if you're interested in this, do some reading, look it up. um, your if you borrow money to buy assets, those assets can grow. And for me, I borrowed $100,000 last year to just dink around with this. My The stocks that I bought appreciated by 30%, so they went up by $30,000. The things that I bought also paid a higher dividend yield than what my margin interest cost me, by about 3 to 4%. So I made $3,000 to $4,000 on the dividend arbitrage, but then I made $30,000 in the capital gains. And so conceivably, I could continue to do this for the rest of my life. Hopefully the pipelines kind of go up slowly over time, and every year I get this $3,000 to $4,000 of dividend arbitrage that I can then just use to live on. I got this extra $100,000 for no cost to me. I just borrowed against my assets. So that's kind of how margin works. Um, it's not like a normal loan for a car loan where you have to make a payment every month. Um, you don't have to make a payment on your margin rates. If you don't pay anything, your margin balance will just slowly grow. And as long as your stocks are also slowly growing and they stay ahead of that margin balance rate, you could do that in perpetuity and never make a payment on margin for the rest of your life. As long as the stocks just kept continuing to go up faster than your margin rate, you can keep that loan going on forever. Now I will say, I get these dividends that are higher than my margin rate, which they would pay down my margin interest if I just left this account alone. So every quarter when I get a dividend, I transfer the payment out of my margin account. I also have a cash account at Robinhood, so I just transferred over there because I don't want my margin balance to fall below $100,000. So there's a little bit about how margin investing works. Um, I, I I have recently realized that borrowing money is a lot cheaper than working for it. Not only because you have to spend part of your life working, but you're taxed so heavily that, on this $100,000 that I borrowed, in order to have that much after working for my job, I would have had to pay an extra $23,000 in taxes between the federal tax, state tax, and Social Security tax. So I'd have to pay an extra $23,000 to get the 100 grand that I borrowed. And so, I wanted to have the 100 grand to be able to work with it and make, more investment gains. But by borrowing the money, basically it'll take me 4 years of paying margin debt before I reach the same cost as what it would have cost me to work for that $100,000, because taxes on a W-2 job are so high. So anyhow, that's kind of the interesting thoughts about margin investing. I hope you get something out of this video. It's worth kind of understanding, and if you want to try to understand it, my best way is I just try it. And so I did. I opened a Robinhood account. I moved some funds over there out of my Fidelity account to Robinhood. All you have to do is just deposit some money there, try buying some things, and just dink around with it in smaller numbers so that it won't potentially hurt you. $100,000 might sound high to a lot of you, but it's a small portion of my overall net worth. And so I wanted to experiment with it this year so I could get a handle on it. And so, yeah, try and experiment. You need at least $2,500 to try it. That won't hurt a certain, genre of you guys out there. And if you're interested in finance, chances are you're saving and investing anyways. So give it an experiment. Try it, see what you think. It's been a year that I've been dinking around with this as I have, been learning about this buy, borrow, die strategy. And, I've learned a bunch of stuff about it. And, I'm using it now to bless me and my family. So, hope you enjoy this content. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Then YouTube will show this to more folks. I hope you subscribe. And I will continue to try to put out content that I think might be useful to some of you. We'll see you. Bye.